So we have in-house things like a Christmas Carol that bring in almost 8,000 people, students and teachers every year, most of them seeing their very first play for the very first time. We have wonderful partnerships with people like the Grizzlies Mentoring Foundation, where we go into schools and make kids do theater, whether they want to or not, and by the end of it, they always have an incredible time. Most of them have never been on stage before, and they get to come here to Theater Memphis on our grand stage and perform for their friends and family and other students, and the light on their faces is just one of the highlights of my job and my life. We get to go out into schools and bring our touring productions to them so that they can see them in their own space and see that theater can happen anywhere, with anything, with as few people, props, and sets as possible, so that they can come here and see something incredibly grand and gorgeous and large, but also can see something on a super small scale and see how it's just as effective and exciting and gets them inspired to want to perform and tell stories as well.
And I think about another time I was at Caritas Village, and just that almost brings me chills thinking about us up on the second floor of Caritas Village and Leslie Barker and all the education team leading those students. And I just remembered the story. I hadn't thought of it in a long time, but you all may remember we were sitting with a group of students up on that second floor at Caritas, and one of the girls was by herself, and somebody asked her, you know, how she found out about it and why she was there, and she had walked over from her apartment by herself to be part of this Theater Memphis experience that night at Caritas Village. So I think about moments like that that haven't necessarily happened in the space, but have still had the energy and the amazing quality theater opportunities, no matter where they are happening in Memphis, even if they're not in here and on stage here.
This beautiful thing that I got from the training here with Joe Malin specifically, if rehearsal starts at 10, that's not you walking in the door. It's you on stage where we last stopped off with script in hand, pencil, ready to go at 10 in your spot. And so that particular ethic has followed me professionally, and I think it makes me stand out among actors as someone who is prepared early. You don't have to think about it, and I got that here.
I was at Governor's School for the Arts in '95, and with a lot of the people who are still around. So Anita Blinhart was the director, and Renee Davis was there, and Ashley, and lots of other people, Jenny Smith. And I met a girl, Amy Bongard, whose dad played Christmas Present for several years. When we got home from Governor's School, she said, "You need to come over and help us in the summer." And so I walked in, and Tommy Starkey was hanging lights. He was the lighting designer for the first show was Gigi. And he said, do you know how to do this? And I said, sure. I'd never done it before. And he threw me up in the catwalks and taught me how to hang lights and how to cut gels, and I spent that entire summer here. It was back in the days when Doc was here, and he taught me how to paint drops, which was amazing. And Tommy taught me everything about lights, and we would walk over to Cecil's and get lunch, and then come eat lunch in the library and sit around and tell stories, and I was hooked. So then I ran lights for Gigi that fall and worked every show that year. This was back in the days when you had to sign up to work every night of a show to even be considered for crew, and then you would get just 1 or 2 nights. So I ran lightboard a few times a week, and then I would sit behind the other lightboard operator to learn how to push the go button. And then did the same thing the next summer and the summer after, and 25 years later, I'm still wishing I could be here all the time.
These comments are straight from the heart. And as the heart of the community, Theater Memphis is a community theater that welcomes your support. Please consider helping us in all we do to bring outstanding entertainment and thoughtful, meaningful experiences to our community through performances, outreach and education, volunteer opportunities, partnerships, and programming. Theater Memphis, always entertaining.